have a question.
Yes.
Since you went to Prairie View and you were in band, do you know how to read sheet music?
I do.
Does it grind your gears that others don't know how to?
No, not me.
What about if you're at a gig and you're trying to call numbers out and they don't know?
Woo. If I'm at a paid gig and we don't have the language barrier is either the sheet music or the numbers, like I can't use either one of those. Number one, okay, you on the gig, so like how do we get to this point? You know, where we're sitting on the same bandstand and neither one of those things are working for us. There's other ways to communicate, and there's, you know, people do different gigs for different reasons, and they get where they are based on, sometimes it's just off relationships, and you know, you get caught in a moment where either you get exposed because you sitting with some cats like they can play for real, they can read music like the boy Lou, they know their numbers, you know, or maybe they just got great ears. They don't know what I don't know how many guitar players I sat with. Up in high school and even in college, like they didn't know what notes they were playing, but they killing, you know what I'm saying? Because they never sat down and like learned the musical alphabet and how it applies to their fretboard. So
it's more so like that more so pertains to like a lot of church musicians.
Yeah, man.
That's church musicians. A lot they don't really know the theory. You know what I'm saying, behind what they playing, but you know you sit them down.
Yeah, they got the gift.
Yeah,
they got the gift.
But in saying that, right? When you were learning sheet music, because I'm assuming you started learning while you were in college, right? It wasn't prior?
No, it was elementary school.
Really?
Yeah, I played trombone my 6th grade year. So this is how we get to the trombone. I love telling this story, just as someone who's like a music lifer. You know, long story short, you had to take this placement test, and based on how you scored on your placement test for band at the time, Mr. Arnold, I forget his first name, but shout out to Mr. Arnold. That's how you got to pick your instrument.
What school you went to?
I went to elementary.
Yeah.
Leslie Allison Stemmons on the west side of Oak Cliff, close to Mountain View.
We had at Lisbon, we had one that was named Arnold, but I was trying to see if it was the same one.
It could have been. He taught at several schools, white guy.
Okay.
But anyway, so you go through like a week or two of like just music fundamentals. Like every good boy does fine. You learn the lines on the staff, like all of that, treble clef, bass clef, all of that. Man, I ain't pay attention to any of that. Like at all, because I had some piano background. Remember, I'm playing drums and piano already at this point, but I want to learn how to play the saxophone, because at the time, you know, my mom, she listened to smooth jazz all the time, you know, so before I knew like what was culturally acceptable in the music community with smooth jazz versus like, you know, straight ahead and any other forms of jazz. Like that was my introduction to jazz. So like, man, I want to play the stuff Dave Coz is playing, and, you know, Kenny G and all of that. You know, and I'm trying to impress the girls, like the saxophone.
Right. I already know what it is.
Man, I scored like the lowest in the class for placement test, and so when it got to me, like I could have picked baritone. He would not let me pick the snare drum because he already knew I played drums. And I think trumpet was available, but we had cornets. We didn't have trumpets, and I didn't like the condensed version. I just didn't like the way it looked. And so he was like, well, you can play trombone. And I'm just like, man, I don't got any. I said buttons, you know, at the time. I know valves, you know, all of that. But I was like, man, okay, whatever. You know, took the trombone home that week. I might have taken it out one time. I'm in the backyard. My dad talking about me like, man, that ain't how you put together. His brother played trombone. So he showed me how to put it together. He didn't know how to play, but he knew how it was supposed to look. And that's how I started playing trombone, and that's when I started reading music. When that instrument got put in my hand, but I fell in love with it over time, and it wasn't even anything that I wanted to do. I wanted to play saxophone so I could learn how to play the Kenny G songs, so I can get the girls.
So you
Do you still play trombone?
I still play trombone. Yeah.
So
I got a trombone next to my bed right now.
Really?
Straight up.
Really?
Yeah. I don't play it every day, but it's like I pick it up and play it. Yeah.
Keep your chops up.
Yeah.
Since you love valve so much, did you ever switch over to a valve trombone?
I learned all the brass instruments.
Really?
Before I went to college, yeah. Man, the thing with band culture, especially in, shout out to DISD, man. I had great band directors, not good band directors. I had great band directors.
Yes.
Mr. Arnold in elementary school, Mr. Jones, Tyrone Jones, he's still in DISD, still teaching today. And then the GOAT, Dean Hill, Mr. Hill.
Dean Hill,
you know, he just retired a couple of years ago. But man, if they saw that you had any interest outside of whatever your primary instrument was on, they found an opportunity. Number one, they were gonna get you an instrument, whether you paid the rental fee or not, and then make sure that you were able to get adequate time on it. And man, every ensemble that I had, especially middle school and high school, I played a different instrument. I played keys and jazz band every time. I even played drums in middle school on jazz band for a while. I played trombone in jazz band, concert band. I started playing. They gave me a saxophone one summer. I learned saxophone one summer. I finally learned saxophone. Yeah, in 10th grade. Yeah, 10th grade. Like I just wanted to know how to play it. He gave me a book, gave me a horn, went home, learned how to play it, man.
Cool.
So just I was blessed with great directors coming up and always just really giving those outlets to expand, our music vocabulary and the instruments that we play.